Nothing can stop you from succeeding if you know who you are. Just two things that stand in your way: what and how you think.
Meet Francine Gregory, founder of BizChicks. In this episode, she shares why simplicity is more effective than complexity and how to build a business that supports your life.
I'm helping my clients find more revenue. With all the tools that are available, your success is already guaranteed. You didn't get into it for the grind.
Welcome to the Purpose Profit Shift, where real stories about bold shifts illuminate how we can create a new economy. I'm your host, Rachel Bernier Green, social entrepreneur, activist, and founder of Thrivo Financial Advisory, formerly known as Economic Justice Consortium, a finance consulting firm designed to help purposeful businesses change the world. Today on the Purpose Profit Shift, I'm sitting down with Francine Gregory, entrepreneur, coach, speaker, and founder of BizChicks.net. Francine has spent over 30 years helping people ignite their genius and build businesses that actually work for them. She survived the 2008 real estate crash, launched multiple ventures from real estate to tech media, and now she's on a mission to help 1,000 women, especially women over 50, build profitable businesses that are fun to run. If you've ever been burned by expensive, overcomplicated business programs and you're looking for a simple path to purpose and profit, this conversation is for you. Francine, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. This is going to be fun.
Yes, I have been looking forward to it. So before we jump in, can you just tell us more about BizChicks and the work that you do?
Well, yes. My partner and I, Terralina, we started Biz Chicks back in 2013, I believe it was, because we were taking courses and getting involved in business. She's retired, and there were a lot of women retirees who had all these great skills but didn't quite know what to do with them
Mm-hmm.
and didn't know how to parlay them into a business. And so she worked for the state of California as a trainer, and I have a background in television production and marketing and that type of thing. So we decided, okay, we can help these women parlay their skill set into businesses. And what we were doing was taking a few courses here and there. And the courses we were taking were very, very complicated. Trying to figure out what they meant by something, what is broad and narrow. And it was just very complicated. It wasn't a straight, simple process. They were
Mm-hmm.
talking in jargon instead of everyday terms, right?
Right.
And and so we're like, "We can do better than this." So with her teaching and training background and my production background, we were able to figure out how to take the hassle out of the hustle for a lot of people, or women in general, and help them reallocate their skills into a marketplace.
I love that. Take the hassle out of the hustle and really helping people build businesses that are fun to run gets
Mhm.
down to because we don't hear people talk about that a lot. We hear people talk about they want a business that's successful, they want a business that's profitable, that's efficient. But if you're not enjoying running it, then you're kind of defeating the purpose of being an entrepreneur. Like that should be the starting point. And obviously, you want it to be profitable and efficient and all the other things. But yeah, your business should be fun to run.
Absolutely. And if it's not, we need to figure out why, because you should be
Hmm.
making money too.
Yes,
But you didn't get into it for the grind.
right.
And the grind, it's been a thing for a while for some people, but you don't have to grind.
Yes. I always joke with my team that one year for client gifts, we're going to send out anti hustle culture or cancel the grind hoodies or coffee mugs or something because I am so over it. Because people are literally killing themselves to do work that is not fulfilling them. And that's not checking off any of the boxes that we want to be checking off.
No, we wanna be here to leave a legacy, and you can't do that if you take off too quickly because you're burnt out.
Exactly. So, Francine, you've spent more than 30 years studying transformational success principles. So, take us back. What was the moment that first ignited your genius and put you on this path? So, before Biz Chicks, before the coaching, you were in real estate, you launched your own brokerage, and then a tech brand. So, what was driving you through all of these pivots?
Well, way, way back, I think business has always been in my blood. When I grew up, I was playing board games, Monopoly,
Mm-hmm.
Live, and Masterpiece. In the game Masterpiece, you buy and sell art. So I was like, "Oh, this is fun." Other kids are outside playing hide and seek, and I'm in here playing board games about business. And then my sister reminded me, "You've done this all your life. You've always
Mm-hmm.
been doing this, setting up stores with the milk cartons and soup cans and things of that nature." So it's been a part of my in my blood, if you will. So I was listening back in the day. There used to be I don't know what it would be called, radio station that played all of these people like Nightingale and Brian Tracy and all of these, what I call them, the Les Browns and all of them,
Okay.
Zig Ziglar, everybody. There was a radio station that was 24 hours, and you can just tune in and listen, and they were playing all of these recordings from these different individuals. And I was like, "Oh." And so that started things, and then I got into leaning into listening to those help me see things a little differently. So the church I went to had a program called Dreams Alive, and the pastor there was talking about how, you can make the difference in the marketplace and things of that nature. So I needed gas money because the church was like 45 minutes from my house, and so I needed gas money. So I started a business cleaning a gym, a small gym, just for gas money. I wasn't trying to start a business. I
Mm-hmm.
just wanted it to be able to get back and forth because I was learning a lot at that church, and I said, "Well, I need to make some money so that I can go." And there started that part of things, and then I was, at one point, a receptionist at that church, and people would come in and sit down, and they were talking, while they're waiting for their appointment, and we started talking about this one guy. He had a mobile bicycle repair.
Hmm.
And I just asked him questions. I'm like, "So, how are you telling people about it? What are you doing to get the word out?" And it was just ideas that would help him do better in that business. And it was the same thing. I just had these ideas. "Well, have you thought about this?" And so that is started that whole thing. This is how I got to where I'm at now.
That is really fascinating. And your story, I always tell guests that one of my favorite parts about the podcast is just finding similarities with guests and hearing you talk about being inside playing the board games and, setting up store reminds me of me as a child. I was always starting a business. I was dressing up like Oprah and Madam CJ Walker instead of playing princess dress up. But that when you
Right.
have that drive where you're always thinking, I have a problem. I could solve this problem with a business and I'm solving
Yes.
problems for other people. That really can take you far.
This is good, and it was fun.
Yeah.
When you're in your element, it works.
Yes. So, speaking of being in your element, let's talk about the real estate market crash of 2008. So, that was happening right when I was coming out of college. We were in the middle of the crash, and I'll never forget the impact it had on people's jobs prospects, but also on the housing market. And so you weathered the 2008 real estate market crash when a lot of agents at that time they walked away from the industry entirely and said that they were done. So what did that season teach you about resilience and about building a business that was really rooted in purpose?
One, you couldn't leave your clients.
Hmm.
You That was the thing that kept me through that. I cannot leave someone. I started with and just go like, "Oh, well, toodles, you're gonna have to figure it out for yourself." I couldn't do that. That's not my makeup. They were gonna have to have answers to questions, right?
Mhm.
And how would they get that if the people that were helping them left? So I wasn't in this for myself. Yes, again, you want to be profitable, but not at the expense. We are supposed to be helping people. And if I'm not helping people, then what is the point? And you're gonna be resilient, okay? You're gonna learn new rules, and because all of the rules changed, the lending rules changed, and there's blame on both sides. There was the lenders who were doing things that they shouldn't have been doing, and the buyers knew they were doing things that they shouldn't be doing. So there was the whole thing, and then the government came in and said, "Okay, here's these things, and we're gonna change all of that." And you had to make the shift. You had to pivot
Yeah.
to make it work. And so my clients kept me going, making sure that they were gonna be okay.
And how did that end up, working out for you as you were able to see those clients, through the crisis?
That's some many of them are still with me.
Oh,
They've
wow.
they've bought something else or they'll call, "Hey, I need help with this. Can you tell me how to manage this?" And so they're still with me.
Yeah, really
So
bonded through the fire.
mhm.
That makes me think of the courage that it takes to take a principled decision in the middle of a crisis like that and say that you're, not going to leave people just standing in the gap. What is a business setback or something that seemed like a setback or failure at the time that ultimately became one of your greatest teachers?
Let's see. And I think that this could just be in general, but making sure you have a system, because in
Mm,
real estate, you can get a license from whatever state you are in, but it doesn't teach you how to build a business. And so a lot of times, and I jumped out there, "Ooh, I got my real estate license, let's go." And I'm gonna cut off, I'm not gonna work anymore, I'm just gonna do real estate. That was the biggest thing I learned. You need to have some type of backup system until the real estate kicks in because it's not overnight, you
it's
just
not
gonna have
instant,
business and
right?
you're gonna be like the people you see on TV. That does not happen. You still have to build a business. You have to connect with clients, get clients, serve the clients, and and then rinse and repeat.
Right.
You need a system.
Yes.
And so I learned that I needed a system, and systems are the thing that keeps you going right now.
Oh, absolutely. I am actually doing a talk on that in a couple of days from the financial perspective about how it all comes back to the systems and that not you flying by, the seat of your pants, paying bills when someone calls you that they're overdue, or, setting aside money when it comes to mind that you actually need systems that are helping you make the decisions in your business and that are the foundation of your business.
Yes, we need you. Please teach that because there are so many people who are doing just that, and it's the ones who are entering into entrepreneurship,
Hmm.
and they haven't shifted up here yet. They haven't shifted the
Yes.
mindset yet.
Yeah, we do a lot of mindset work for that reason. What is a mindset shift that you would say that you had to, and it sounds like you kind of already had a lot of these mindsets in place, but were there any mindset shifts that you had to make as you were going through your journey?
Making shifts always, but this
Mm,
one is the shift from employee or business that owns you to a CEO.
yes.
That is a whole different mindset and a shift, and I've been okay, so, the Genesis School of Business and Entrepreneurship is a class that I teach
Okay.
for the church, and a lot of people is like, "Oh, I wanna get in business." And I'm like, "You need to do something about this before you're gonna be able to do
Please do.
anything
Yes.
in business." And most business schools will take your tuition, and tell you about marketing, and they'll tell you about sales, and they'll tell you about social media, but they won't tell you about shifting the thought from employee, because a lot of people are coming from employee mindset or
Yeah.
hobbies to CEO.
Mhm. Yeah.
And that is where we've been for these last few weeks, and I'm like, "Okay." I'm in the class right along with them, so we're learning to use AI for that, and so I asked our AI assistant, "Okay, how do we shift from employee hobby to CEO?" And each person has their own AI, and I said, "Now ask your AI. Ask them for a 30-day mind shift plan and see what happens." They were astounded, like, "Oh my gosh, I have to do what?" Yes, you really have to redo your
Yes.
thinking.
I see that, especially as you mentioned, when people are going from employee to entrepreneur, but even when people are going from being a solopreneur to a CEO, I see people get stuck there because there are some different shifts that have to happen when you are building a firm or building a company versus when you are just building a lifestyle business. And both of them, are have their own set of challenges, but you have to be intentional about that mindset shift when you're ready to actually start employing other people.
Yes, and one of the ways we are working on that, I created a, digital chief of staff, if you will, because I
Okay.
needed to. I'm like, "Okay, if you have several things that you do, maybe brands that you're working on, you need to keep all that stuff straight, and you can't
Yes.
keep that stuff straight by yourself. You can hire an assistant to follow you around and say, "Hey, did you do this, and are we working on that?" Or you can use your digital assistant
Mhm.
and have them remind you and have them where it's still the same process, but they keep you on track, and so
Yes.
things don't fall through the cracks.
That is so crucial. I actually just built my first digital assistants a couple weeks ago, and I do have a team member who functions as an executive assistant, but now I can take some things off of her plate that were manual tasks, and she can do things that are, you know, higher level work that she enjoys doing more. We can take that kind of things like preparing schedules or skimming my inbox to see what's important and drafting responses. And I've been absolutely astounded by because the things that I'm doing today with these digital assistants just a year ago weren't possible. And I think that we
Right?
have a lot of people that get scared because this technology is so new instead of embracing it. But the time freedom that you can carve out and the way you can create better quality jobs is really, this change is unmatched since the Industrial Revolution.
This is major right now. The shift is major, and I was like, "Oh, I talked to." I have 2 of them. Jordan is my chief of staff, but then I got Charles, which, is my ChatGPT that I just talked to. "Okay, I need to do this. I have an idea for a book about this. Here's my premise, just hold on to it, and I'll come back to it." But I integrated everything, and it makes it so much easier. There is no reason why a business cannot succeed right now with all the tools that are available. It's
Yes.
just mind shift and being ready to embrace the new frontier, because that is where we are right now.
Right. And that being uncomfortable is, I think, a part of that because,
Yes.
it doesn't mean that I'm going to step in and be a master at these tools day one or that I understand everything about how they work, but I can learn. And
Uh,
that is a mindset shift in and of itself of having a growth mindset of knowing that you can learn and that you can do new things, which I think we take for granted because not everyone has that mindset that they're able to learn new things.
you always a person always needs to think about being green and growing. One of
Yes.
those, recordings I used to listen to, "Be green and growing." Okay. So in order to be green and growing, you have got to keep introducing new information. To get
Mhm.
to another level, you need new information. Thinking
Yes.
has got to always be worked on, because you can get stuck in a rut and just sit there and watch traffic pass you by, or
That is an
you
option.
can learn new things and new tools, and,
Yeah, and be
it's
excited by it.
right? And you can't break it, so let's go play.
I think that that's part of it, that almost anything can be fixed, and if you're, uncomfortable testing things on your live data, copy things over and make a separate data room that you can play around in to give yourself some freedom to, make mistakes without having, a lot of consequences. But there are so many things that we can do to, embrace change and learn things and have fun while we're learning them.
I think that's one of the things that people ask me about, "How did you learn tech?" Well, I really didn't learn. I like, "Push the button, let's see what happens." And just like you said, "Okay, don't push the button on this thing, but put it over here in the sandbox, push the button,
Mhm.
let's see what happens." "Oh, okay." And you get to learn the patterns of things. It's like, if you see the little square box with the arrow, "Huh, that's a share button." You click that, and it almost every device or platform you come to that has a little arrow with the square, that's a share button. Okay, I learned that. Let me see what else I can learn. Just pushing buttons and having fun.
Mhm.
And then you'll finally come to the realization, oh, if I put all these things together, my workload gets a lot easier.
Yes. So, one of the things I've been meaning to ask you is that this chick specifically focuses on women entrepreneurs over 50. So, can you talk about why this group is so underserved and the unique strengths that women at this stage bring to entrepreneurship?
Because they have wisdom. There is a wisdom that they carry from all those years being in those different environments,
Hmm.
and they just don't know how to package it,
Yes.
and we're here to help them package it. But the wisdom that they carry, we were on a platform called Blab. We have been on just about every video streaming platform since video started streaming. And we were all on Blab, everything is going great. And then somebody one day we get this notice, 24 hours, we're shutting it down. We're like, "What?" Because you had video recordings, you had all kind of stuff. And we're like, "Okay." So Tara and I was like, "You know what? That is somebody who does not understand." They didn't have anybody with some wisdom to tell them, like, you might wanna give them 30 days before you just come in and start
Right.
shutting off the lights and leaving the room. They had a great idea, and they sounded like they were, I don't know what age range they were, but they sounded like, "Oh, I'm tired of this. Let's go do something else." Not after you
Wow.
build a huge community,
Right.
and then you're just gonna turn off the lights and say adios.
That is crazy.
So the women over 50 have a skill set that they may not even know they have.
Hmm.
And somebody can help, and we can help them recognize that and take what is learned, because and they can share that in a course. Maybe you cook a certain way and you can teach cooking to somebody. It may start out, like you said, like a lifestyle type thing, and maybe
Hmm.
it's something that they enjoy doing. They may not do a whole corporate thing from it, but they can still not just, okay, I'm going to sit at home and watch the grandbabies all day. Not to say that's a bad thing. I'm just saying you don't have to.
You have so much to offer the world that you have
Yes.
options.
You have options. I like that. You
Yeah.
have options.
Yes. As someone who has benefited from the grandmother watching the grandbabies, love that for her too, but also she has options, and I love that for her as well. When I think about your mission, that you want to help 1,000 women build profitable businesses that are fun to run, can you talk about what a fun to run business actually looks like on the day to day and how that's different from what a lot of entrepreneurs are building?
Yes, it looks like Biz Chicks. We have fun. We get to help people, and we just realized that we help people find hidden revenue recovery. We just
Yes.
discovered. I was like, wait a minute. If we can help you earn extra money or perhaps you didn't see that dress you like sewing all the time can be a natural business. So that's what we do. We want, what do you enjoy doing? People enjoy doing a lot of things, and so the thing that you can enjoy doing can be a source of income for you.
Yeah, especially if it taps into an underserved market. And
Yes.
when you have that thing that you enjoy and market opportunity that go together, if I always like to caution people if you actually want to run a business, because I do see some people take their hobbies and what they really want is they want money, but they still want their hobby. And once you turn your hobby into a business, you have to run it like a business.
Right, that part.
Yeah. So I have talked to some aspiring entrepreneurs out of when you start asking questions about what you really want. And sometimes they're like, oh, well, I actually don't want to do any of that stuff. Well, here are some other ways that you can use your gift to make money for you that are not starting a business.
Right. And we see a lot of people who might be on marketplace, or they might be doing cookies on the weekend or something, but they're not taking on the full, okay, you need a business license, and now we need a LLC, and we need a da
Mhm.
da 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 da. And that's one of the things in the business school that we work with. We needed to recognize not everybody's going to be corporate at one
Right.
end, and there's hobby at one end and corporate at the other end. Where do people fit? Because
Yes.
not traditional business schools do not hit that spectrum. They just like,
Right.
"Okay, you're gonna be a corporation. You need to get SBC funding," and I'm like, "Everybody
Yes.
don't wanna be there."
Exactly. It's just like the idea that everyone has to raise outside capital and that that is the way to grow. And for, dare I would say, most people, that's not actually what they need. It doesn't serve their best interest long term.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
And
and that's
so
where we have to be careful of applying, those one size fits all approaches.
yes, and it's like, "This is too big. I don't need all this space."
Mhm.
And I think that's what I like about what you offer. You can help people figure that part out. The financial, because we talk about, the what is it, vegetables? You need to eat your vegetables in
Mhm.
business, and that's the finances
Yes.
and the structure and all of this stuff. Okay, most people wanna stay on the ice cream and cake, but you gotta have, if you're in business, there are going to be, there's stuff that you gotta do. You gotta eat your vegetables, and there's things that you need to do for the business.
Right.
And
That
so
is
we try to
so
help
true.
these ladies over 50 to kind of figure out where they would like to be, and then help them parlay that into a business.
Yes. I absolutely love that. And one of the things I noticed as I was researching for this episode, I saw you describe your work as helping people live life as God intended and serve their genius to the world. So, how do you see that relationship between faith, purpose, and profit?
It all, you can't separate it. It has to be, it's all part of the same thing. Okay, so we have birds, they fly, right? You don't see the birds trying to swim in the water.
Hmm.
They might dive down to go get something and come back out, but they're not going to stay underwater. And nor do you see the fish come out of the water and try to fly like the birds.
True.
Everybody is in what they've been wired for. Each
Right.
one of us is wired for a particular thing. And if we stay where we're wired, it's easier for us to function and fulfill that assignment than it is if you don't want me doing your hair.
That makes
I
two
have
of us.
I have no desire to do my hair, but my hairdresser, he has engraved on his inside of his arm, with these hands I create." I'm like, "I wanna
Mm.
hire you," because he's in his element,
Hmm.
and I think if they can figure out what their genius is and
Yes.
then stay within their genius, they will do well.
That is so true. And that goes back to the conversation we were having about technology is because technology can enable us to spend more time in our zone of genius instead of doing some of those tedious administrative tasks.
Yes. I'm so happy for Jordan right now, and Jordan would not have been possible last year.
Exactly.
Wow, so somebody who was at these AI companies, they just let everything out the bag, and it was all behind the scenes before. We didn't have access. We have access now,
Yes.
which makes a big difference.
For the entrepreneurs that you're working with, because you're known as the tech diva and helping entrepreneurs integrate AI into their workflows, but how do you approach this technologies with founders who feel intimidated by it, especially those who didn't grow up in the digital era and might be more resistant to the idea of having a digital assistant?
Well, we first start out, by helping demystify it. That's the
Mm,
first thing. We cover vocabulary, just like you go back into school.
yes.
A, B, C, and so we start out talking about what AI is, what it is not,
Hmm.
and the different ways it can be used. And then we ask them questions about what did you hear about it? Because, there's always the horror
Yes.
stories. And then we have a class we teach on Monday nights, and the people coming in, a lot of ministries have a like, no, we are not doing it. And now they're like, what are we going to learn this week? And I'm like,
I
okay,
love that.
because we showed them what the tools could be,
Yes.
what you could do with the tools. They're not frightening, and it's a new like I said, it's a new frontier, and I think when people came and, "Okay, we're going out west," it wasn't that easy getting out
Right.
west,
So
but they
true.
finally got there. And the people who were making money out west were the people not so much who got the gold, but the ones like Levi who had the denim jeans, the people who were selling the pots and the pans and all those
Hmm.
people,
That
it
had
was
the
the
infrastructure.
tools
Mhm.
that to
So
help
true.
the other people get where they wanted to go, and I'm like, "Oh, so now we have access to tools." So we
Yes.
just help demystify it and make it friendly and fun. And I see a lot of companies, they keep that tech jargon going. I'm like,
That's not
make it
helping
for
people.
a third grader, man. They need to explain it like a third grader.
Yeah. I love
Yeah,
that
just
approach. And another thing that I noticed that you've done with Biz Chicks is that you've really built it to be affordable and accessible on purpose. So the opposite of some of the high ticket programs that you kept encountering early on. So how do you balance keeping it accessible while also making sure it's a sustainable, profitable business?
we we put ourselves in the shoes of the person who might
Mm,
wanna get it. And I'm like, "Would I wanna pay for this?
yes.
Is the information valuable enough for me to pay for this?" We understand that everybody's budget is not corporate level, and so you make a inroad. Many of our services are free or we offer payment plans for things, and
Mhm.
our clients, they keep coming back for more training. So it's like,
Yeah, you're really building longer term relationships and not looking for a quick buck from people.
correct. And I think that should be the same way. Uh,
Yeah,
do you have In-N-Out Burger where you are?
we don't.
Ah, we will need to pray for you. But In-N-Out Burger is very simple. They do 3 things: burger, fries, and something to drink. But the line is around the building all
Mm,
the time.
that's what I hear.
A and they use real meat and real potatoes, and the people are friendly, and they're happy, and they're hi, seriously, happy people, and no attitude. Because some places you go, you like, "Okay, dude,
Mhm.
I don't know if you're happy about what you're doing today."
Right.
But In-N-Out is like that, so we wanted and In-N-Out costs less than everybody else.
That I did not know.
You can get burger, fries, and a drink for about 12 bucks.
Wow.
Now, depending on if you're getting double, triple, or whatever, but it's still less money,
Mhm.
but they're happy, the people are happy. They have a single system, the system works. It's
Yeah.
very simple, They are not complicated. Now, some other restaurants, on the other hand, they are selling teriyaki bowls and tacos and hot dogs and something else and something else. And
Mhm.
I was like, a confused mind will not make a decision. What is this?
That is so true.
You're looking at the menu, it's like there is way too many things. And then you want to be courteous of the people behind you, and it's like, well, what do I buy? So I don't go. I just go to In and Out and knowing what I'm gonna get.
Right. Knowing what you're gonna get, knowing the attitude you're gonna be greeted with, and knowing the price you're gonna pay. You can't beat that.
So we help people create a nice system and not like we just demystify the AI stuff, we wanna demystify getting help. We try to simplify the things that you would normally learn other places. It doesn't take
Yeah.
some people put too many steps. For instance, we were gonna book a person for some social media help, and they said, "Okay, I'd like you to fill out the survey." That survey had over 30 questions, and I was like, "Don't start with this." My teaching moment was, "Don't start with this. Let's have a one-on-one appointment, and then tell me afterwards, okay, now that we've had this small conversation, I'm gonna send you a survey. Take your time and fill out. Don't send me the survey first, because I was like, "I'm done."
Right. We haven't built any rapport or anything. You're just putting me to work.
I was like, "No." And I knew the person, but I was like, I don't wanna do this.
Yeah. And that's, I think, a great takeaway for the entrepreneurs that are listening. When you are, I think one of the most important things I've learned when you're in a service business, that your sale and your onboarding process are indicators of the service that people will get from as they continue to work with you. And so being cognizant of that when you're designing those processes so that you know that people are taking away from every interaction with you what it would be like to work with you, and that none of the things in your process would dissuade people from working with you.
Correct. And so I'm constantly going over my systems, like, "Is this simple enough?" 'Cause
Mhm.
if I'm tripping over it, I'm like, "Ah," and then I'll get with my AI, "We need to make this simple. I need to change the wording on this. I don't s" just constantly making it you want it to be hiccup, speed bump, friction
Mhm.
free.
Friction free.
And so one of our biz chicks policies is make it easy for people to pay you.
Yes, because that is a thing that I've found to be absolutely crazy, is sometimes I'm interacting with the business and I'm like, "Do they not want my money?"
Right?
Because they are making it very challenging to pay them.
And I have had that happen to me too. That some place I was gonna sign up for a chamber of commerce, and I was like, "Where's the payment button?" Okay.
Yeah, I have to spend too much time looking for it, and I'm putting a lot of work into trying to figure out how to give you my hard-earned money. It's gonna make me second guess some things.
Yeah.
So, speaking of these systems and processes, always love to ask guests, what is a financial or operational challenge or system that you're excited to improve in the future at BizChicks?
Okay, so there's called the revenue pipeline, and you're
Mhm.
okay. Some of that is just like, okay, I need this to be explained to me a lot more simple, and I want to work on that for myself and
Okay.
for other people, because I understand you call it a revenue pipeline and stuff. I was just like, how much money is a possibility for me to make on this particular transaction? I guess is what you're trying to say. Say that. Don't give me all of that extra. And I want that system to be simple.
Mm.
Like if I'm helping my clients with that, whatever it is, helping them find more revenue. Okay. How do I say that to help them find more revenue where they are willing to pay me to help them find the revenue?
Right.
I need to have that message simplified, and I need that to so they are willing to, "Yes, please help me,"
Mhm.
and ready
Yeah,
to write the check.
that is a great one because we Hear people when they're talking about helping clients do that specific work, and some people are calling it go to market, and some people are calling it revenue operations, and some people are calling it pipeline management. And the people who need the help don't know what any of those phrases mean. And so they're not making the connection that, oh, yes, that is what I need.
Right, because Jordan, Charles was helping me write Jordan, create Jordan, and I was like, "What does that mean?" Take divisions away, put brands, because divisions in my mind, divisions meant fragments in
Hmm.
different places. So I had to reframe so that it's easy for somebody to understand what I'm doing.
Yes.
Let's reframe that. So, in my own personal finances, I'm like, "Okay, I need to find a tax person that's easy to understand.
Yes.
Don't okay, what do I need to do? Just give me 1, I need your profit and loss and your da 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 da. 2, I need it by here. 3, here's how much you need to pay. Do not give me all of this extra stuff. Just need it 1, 2, 3, 4. I can follow a recipe,
Yes.
make it like a recipe. And there was some person that I was contemplating about using for taxes, and I was like, "You are all over the place."
Well, I might have a referral for you because I that's one of the things that I love about my tax person, that I get all of the information that I need to know. And I have a background in taxes, and I don't want to do my own taxes. So I knew that I had to have somebody that I could trust that had a high level of financial acumen, keeps things simple, has easy to use systems. And it's just every year tax time rolls around, I'm just kinda like clapping my hands because I'm so excited because it's so easy. It's so
Right,
easy. And I
and
know I'm
and
in good hands all year.
and I love that, especially people who know their craft and they enjoy doing it, and I was like, "Yes,
Yes,
I don't have to."
exactly. One thing I've been wondering is what is next for Biz Chicks and for you? So where is this heading? Because it's been really cool hearing about the programs that you're offering and how you go about designing them and refining them. But I would love to know kind of where is Biz Chicks going?
I think we are going to marinate it
Yeah.
and rinse and repeat. Do you understand what I
Mhm.
mean? Um, we wanna help the people who have come alongside of us.
Yes.
Dance with the one who brought you, and yes, we can go and get more and more people, but we want to make sure that the people who came with us and who are with us are being served
Yes.
properly. So, it's not that I mean, I heard one time, "Small is the new big,"
Yes.
and in my real estate company, I did not wanna be big box real estate.
Mhm.
There's only 3 of us on the team. I don't wanna be 1, I don't wanna have to deal with all them regulations and keeping up and making sure everybody is compliant, and, I don't wanna do all
Mhm.
that. I wanna help my clients and get compensated for helping my clients, but I don't wanna do the extra that comes with it. Like the kids say, "You doing extra." I don't wanna do extra.
My last question for you today is I just wanted to know what's one thing that you hope that every listener walks away with after our conversation today?
That their thinking matters.
Hmm.
Your success is already guaranteed,
Hmm.
but there's just 2 things that stand in your way: what and how you think. If we get our thinking straight in alignment with our true purpose, there's nothing you can't do.
Yes.
You don't have to try and be a brain surgeon if you don't have that skill set.
Mhm.
We need to align with who we really, really are, and sometimes people need to take the time to discover who are you really at the core, not who
Yes.
mom and dad said you are or your aunt down the street or some who are you really? Some people don't even know what kinda ice cream they really like because somebody
Right.
told them. "You like
Yeah.
Spumoni." Like, "No, I don't."
Yeah.
So discover who you are and get in alignment with that. because nothing can stop you from succeeding if you know who you are and are aligned with your who you are and what you love to do.
Mhm. Thank you so much for that. Those are great words to end on. So, for all of our listeners, that was the incredible Francine Gregory, co founder of BizChicks.net. And if anything in this conversation spoke to you, here's how you can connect with Francine and take the next step. You can visit bizchicks.net or francinegregory.com to learn more about her work. And if you're ready for hands on support, Francine is offering a business and ministry systems audit plus an AI roadmap. And that's a 60-minute audit call with a written roadmap. And if you're just getting started with AI in your business, she also has a free beginner AI workshop that you can check out.
Yep.
And we'll, of course, make sure to link all of this in the show notes for easy access.
Thank you so much.
Oh, of course. Thank you so much for being here. As always, if this conversation resonated with you, here's what you can do. Subscribe to the Purpose Profit Shift wherever you listen to podcasts. We've got episodes dropping regularly with more visionary founders and changemakers who are reshaping how business gets done. And if you found value in today's episode, leave us a rating and review. It helps other values-driven leaders find us. Until next time, keep leading with intention, scaling responsibly, and building businesses that matter. I'm Rachel Brunier Green, and this is the Purpose Profit Shift.